This is the Gyroshoes Electric Scooter, a compact metallic black runabout with a cushy, height-adjustable saddle, big 12-inch pneumatic tires, a wide deck, and real storage built around a sturdy frame. It looks a little like a shrunken e-bike crossed with a scooter, with clean lines, a simple LCD display, and front and rear brake levers that feel familiar the moment I grab them. The whole thing sits low and stable, and the proportions make it unintimidating even if you're new to electric rides. Key features that stood out to me are the comfortable seat, the air-filled tires, the dual braking system, and the storage you can actually use. Pneumatic means air-filled, so the tires flex over cracks and rough patches instead of passing every bump into your spine. Dual braking here means you get a front and a rear brake working independently, which gives more control and shorter stopping distances than a single brake. Those basics matter more to me day to day than flashy specs, because they shape how confident I feel in traffic and on uneven neighborhood streets. From my experience, comfort is the headline. I'm picky about seats and I usually expect soreness after a few miles, but the saddle on the C1S surprised me. It's broad, supportive, and breathable enough that I didn't notice pressure hotspots on a 9-mile ride around town. The 9.5-inch wide deck gives me room to plant my feet without having to lock my knees, and being able to put both feet down at a stop is great when I'm balancing a quick store run. The overall riding position is upright and relaxed, and I felt steady even when the road surface got patchy.
On the performance side, the 550-watt hub motor doesn't try to wow me with neck-snapping acceleration. It eases in smoothly, which is exactly what I want in a seated scooter. There are multiple speed modes, so I can cap the top speed in crowded areas or open it up a bit on a clear bike lane. The claim's top speed is up to 18.6 miles per hour, and I reached that only when I had a flat stretch, light wind, and a fresh charge. Most of the time, I cruise a touch under that, which still feels plenty quick for errands and campus-style commutes. In my opinion, this is tuned for control and comfort, not thrills. Hills are where the limits show. On gentle grades, it keeps moving, but on steeper sections, I can feel the motor working hard, and the pace drops. If you're near the 265-pound weight limit or carrying heavier cargo, expect slower climbs and plan routes that avoid long, steep hills. That's not a knock on the scooter's purpose. It's just honest about what a 550-watt motor can do when the frame, seat, and storage add weight that most standing scooters don't carry. Range deserves a reality check. The spec sheet says up to 20 miles. That's the best case. Lightweight rider, flat ground, steady slower speeds, minimal stops. My mixed terrain loop with rolling paths, a few stop signs, and some light cargo put me closer to 10 to 12 miles per charge. I noticed the first battery bar drop after just a couple of miles at a moderate pace, which lines up with the idea that the indicator is conservative early on. Range is affected by rider weight, speed, hills, and how much you load into the baskets. If I'm carrying groceries or a small pit, the extra weight trims a few miles off the estimate. Charging from near empty took about 5 hours, which works fine for overnight or a full top-up during the workday. To protect the battery, I keep it topped up monthly even if I'm not riding much, because lithium-ion packs don't like being left at zero for long periods.
Let's talk utility, because that's where this scooter shines. The storage here is not an afterthought. I can pop a mid-size grocery run into the front basket and stash lighter items in the rear. The wide deck stays stable even when the front basket is loaded, and I find it easier to balance than wearing a backpack on a hot day. If you plan to ride with a small pet, the space makes it feasible, though I always secure a carrier and use a short lead for safety. Just remember that cargo weight directly affects range and hill performance, so bring the charger if you're planning multiple errands back to back. Braking is one of the strong points. The mechanical discs feel predictable and progressive. A gentle squeeze slows me smoothly, and a firmer pull hauls me down fast without drama. With seated scooters, stability under braking matters more than raw speed, and this setup inspires trust. Lighting and the display are straightforward too. The screen shows speed, battery level, mode, and mileage in a way I can read under bright sun. That clarity is helpful when I'm pacing myself to stretch the last 2 bars of battery to get home. About setup and ease of use, assembly is simple. It comes mostly put together, and the included tools cover the basics like attaching the seat and adjusting the bar alignment. I was rolling within an hour, including tire pressure checks. Controls are intuitive. Power, mode switch, throttle on the right, brakes on both sides. If you're new to scooters, basic terms to know are throttle, the lever that makes you go, modes, speed limits that help you ride safely in different areas, and range, how far you can travel on one charge. There's also a hidden settings menu on many scooters, often called P settings. Unless you know exactly what each code means, I'd avoid changing those. I've seen battery performance suffer when those values get altered the wrong way.
Build quality feels solid. The frame is alloy steel and aluminum, stout enough that small potholes don't send a shudder through the chassis. At about 48.5 pounds, it's not featherweight. I can lift it into a car trunk, but I wouldn't want to carry it up multiple flights daily. On the flip side, that weight adds to its planted feel at speed and makes the seat-down riding position feel secure. The weight limit of 265 pounds is generous for a seated scooter this size, and it includes rider plus cargo. For me, the sweet spot is staying well under that if I want the best hill and range performance. The warranty is straightforward, 6 months for the battery and 1 year for other parts. That's not unusual in this price range. Support experiences vary with any brand, so I keep receipts, take photos if something looks off, and do simple maintenance like checking tire pressure weekly and tightening bolts after the first couple of rides as parts settle. Those habits prevent most squeaks and weird handling. Who is this for? It's perfect for short commutes on flat terrain, quick grocery runs, relaxed neighborhood rides, and anyone who prefers to sit instead of stand. I also think it makes sense for riders who are new to e-scooters and want something that doesn't feel twitchy. From my experience, the gentle takeoff and the low center of gravity help new riders build confidence fast. If you're chasing top speed, sprinty acceleration, or you live where hills are unavoidable, this won't scratch that itch. For longer daily routes, the real-world range means you'll be charging more often, or you'll need to carry the charger and plan a midday top-up. In my opinion, the Gyroshoes C1S plays to its strengths: comfort, practicality, and approachability. It trades outright performance for a ride that feels welcoming. I'd recommend this for students getting around campus, riders running errands within a few miles of home, parents who want a seated option that's easier on knees and backs, and anyone who values storage without switching to a bigger, heavier e-bike. The limitations are honest and clear. Hills slow it down, and the real-world range is about half the brochure number when you ride at normal speeds with a bit of cargo. If those lines up with your routes and expectations, it's a satisfying daily companion. Key features that make me keep reaching for it are the cushy seat that actually stays comfortable, the grippy 12-inch air tires that tame rough pavement, the predictable dual brakes, and the storage that turns quick trips into easy trips. That combination is what makes it useful rather than just fun. And yes, it's still fun, just in a calm, laid-back way. In conclusion, this scooter does exactly what it sets out to do: provide a seated, stable, easygoing ride with real utility for short distances. It's not trying to be the fastest or the lightest. It's trying to make everyday rides simple and comfortable. And in that role, it succeeds. If you're considering it, think about your terrain, your typical range, and how often you'll carry cargo. If those match, you'll likely be happy with the trade-offs. If this video helped, please subscribe to the channel and drop your questions or your own range results in the comments. Thank you for watching.